Well, hey, welcome. This is a special edition 192. We're on an hour early because it's a double header tonight, but I have a very different and very inspiring conversation in store for you tonight. Still in search of awesome, but this time we went looking not only for a social media Jedi, but a money master, someone that's not only blowing up her income, but really it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Controlling the spending, using the difference to nuke some debt, saving some money. When you take a peek at what she's doing, you're going to freak out. She works at Simonson Salon and Spa in Coon Rapids. Salon owner is Kylie Simonson, just a wonderful human being. Her coach is Marilyn Nathan, Linda Rolek, and let me tell you why I invited Katelyn for our guest tonight. Look at the track record, you guys. She starts at Simonson's in 2016. And in 2016, her first year is 23,000 in a gross W-2. But look what she does in her first year. She's not only growing her income, but she's managing her money in a way that she pays off $7,700 in debt and manages to stash away just this side of a couple of grand. That's in 16. But no, wait, there's more. This is why I invited her tonight, you guys, is look, as she triples her income in 2017 from 23 to 71,000. But look what else she did. She was very intelligent. It's not what you make, it's what you keep, and then it's what you do with what you keep. She nukes in the year that she does 71,000 almost $30,000 in debt, whether it's student debt, credit card debt. What she's going to tell you about that, so I don't want to take her thunder away. And no, wait, there's more. In that same year, she tucks away just over $10,000. She's going to tell you where she's putting her money so that it grows. In 2018, she goes up another few $1,000s and continues to lower her debt. She reduces her debt by just under $20,000 again. I mean, she's blown it up big time. And look at her savings continue to increase. I mean, when you really do the math on that, she's saving almost $300 a week to build. So you can see that it's not only about growing her income, it's lowering her debt and building savings. We call that wealth. That's called the art of financial freedom. And then in 2019, she continues to grow her income, $77,000, $15,000 more in debt that she pays off, and she continues to grow her savings. This is why she's here tonight, and this is why I want her to tell you how she's using it. A lot of what she's using is in your summit planner that you guys aren't using. I'm going to let her tell you about that. She's going to tell you the story, so I don't want to get into her story. It's very inspiring. She graduates from beauty school in 04 and high school in beauty school in 05. She does a little time at Ulta, does some fantastic Sam stuff, starts with the Simonsons, comes back, and like I said, she's trending to do a great job. Now, she's in our green room, so I'm going to go back and get her. I want to spend as much time with her tonight and having her tell a story and then actually show you what she's doing. So let's see. She's back there now. We'll go back and we'll get her. And there she is. Why don't you give it up for you guys?
Hey, guys.
Did you hear me bragging on you, Katelyn?
I did. I heard it.
Oh,
it makes me feel good.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I know it's been a long day. And we always love, you're our 192nd interview, and we always start them by asking our guest to tell us the story. And that's the inspiring part of, and your story is extraordinary. And I want to start it out by just asking you the question, who is Katelyn, and what was your life like before you went to Simonson's and had the great divine aha?
So I always knew I wanted to do hair. I love hair. I've known it since a little kid. PSEO'd my senior year of high school. So graduated both, got a jump start. And then I started at Simonson's originally in October of 2006. Worked there. It was great. Enjoyed it. But then the recession hit and I just had to focus on trying to survive, and I was not able to really thrive. And then I got kind of bored same thing. And then I had the opportunity to move to Australia in September of 2015. And if you have the opportunity to move to Australia, why on earth would you not take the opportunity to move to Australia? I mean, so I did it. Australia is beautiful, but it is expensive, and the wages were a heck of a lot lower than what I was used to making. So got way over my head in debt, and my visa was about to expire. I didn't know what to do, and ended up having to come back to Simonson's. So restarted at Simonson's in October of 2016, and because I was so over my head in debt, I didn't know what to do. I was focused on how many hours can I work? How many hours can I clock in? How many hours can I be here? I wasn't focused on how productive can I make my time here. I was focused on the time clock.
And it sounds like you were really under some financial, I might even call it your own financial crisis. Way too much month at the end of the money. So there was a lot going on, a lot on your mind. You get to Simonson's, and then something happens to you. It's that something that happens to all of us that kind of shocks us awake, changes the trajectory of our life, and really starts to something extraordinary. What was yours?
So twofold. And first part is the lovely Michael Cole came to teach a class for us at Simonson's, talking about how you can be a six-figure income stylist and how it's possible when you plan your day and you work smarter, not harder, and when you use your summit book. And I remember I was just like, no, not gonna happen. Nope, can't do it. But then in April of 2018, I have been starting a journey of a repetitive motion injury, and it really pushed it where I had no choice. I had to take this advice, and I had to learn how to work smarter, not harder. And in September, I grabbed my summit book. This is my 2019 summit book, and I read it cover to cover. And I took that to try to have new approaches for 2019. Let's start at the beginning. Let's give it a go with everything. And I went backwards from the financial part of it. How much do I really need to make in order to survive? How much do I really need to make every day, every week, every month, every year? And how can I get there by utilizing my summit book?
Yeah, and in fairness to everybody watching, gang, with this project that I did for Simonson's, it was every bit of growing the income. That's not front page news to the people in our community, but what we brought to Simonson's, as well as you're blowing up your income, here's some things to help you, to empower you to do a better job at controlling the spending, turning down the burn rate, paying off debt that's got you stressed out, saving some money. And that's really, I think, it was that really woke you up. And honestly, Katelyn, one thing better than the truth, that's the whole truth. When we're in crisis, we're like really motivated. What can I do to make this crisis of debt go away as well? So you were inspired indeed.
Yes, I took that inspiration and I went into the book and I took the budget tracker to figure out what do I actually spend with everything. And I mapped out all of my bills just to see where I actually put everything. And by doing that, I realized every single month there's something unexpected that pops up with that. And when something unexpected pops up, oh, I'll put it on the credit card. I'll pay it off next month. But when that happens every single month, you never get it paid off. So when you go and look at every monthly spending habit, when you look at your overall monthly spending and you realize there's that continual
buildup of debt.
Yes.
That it wakes us up. And so really what you started doing is, I remember being with you, teaching you how to use some of the digital calculators, teaching you how to
Yep.
use. We actually went through the budget tracker, and we went through the debt reduction list, and we went through the money finder. And you, like a lot of you, unlike a lot of people, actually started using that. And you know the
Yes.
stats that we were showing before we brought you up were amazing. People are like, okay, how did she do that? She used the stats. But before we get into that, I want to give you an opportunity to answer a big question. What's your life like now? I mean, when you really look at your income going up, debt going down, you've got several $1,000s in your savings account. How has this changed your standard of living, your lifestyle? How has this changed you as a person? How has this changed you as a hairdresser?
Instead of stressing out about 5 days between my 2 week pay period, I have that little extra in between. I'm able to plan ahead for all of these bills when they start coming through. And then with using both the financial aspect of my summit book as well as the actual daily planner with everything, I really, really work hard for the customers that I have to schedule their next appointment for them. I try to recommend, different products for them that they'll really, really enjoy with everything. And with everything, work is so much less stressful when you're not there and constantly worried about money in the back of your mind.
Yeah, it's like how we handle one thing is how we handle everything. And so when one part of our life gets exponentially better, all the other parts of our life get better as well. You have reinvented, you have recreated, transformed both your personal financial life as well as your professional income, and it just continues. And I think you're still in the middle of that. There's that experience is so big, it can be daunting to talk about. So what I'm going to
Yes.
save the last word for the last word. I really would love to get, to maybe start with, what was the first form that you filled out? I'll show it while you're talking about it, and then I'll help people find it in the planner.
The first one I actually went and filled out was the money finder, because I wanted to find out where I actually spent my money with everything. $5 here, $20 here, that adds up really, really quick. And especially when you can't afford that $5 out of your bank account, that hits you really, really hard. So I did that just to kind of see, what can I cut out? Like, where am I spending money that I shouldn't if I really need to work on saving? Then I went through.
Well,
Go
before you go any farther, I want to show the group in the back of the planner in the financial section, there's something called the money finder. So I want you to find the money finder, and I'll post one of your actual forms that you filled out so people can see how to do that, because that kind of woke you up to where all of this unconscious spending that was happening and where your money was going. Many people will say, I don't know where all my money goes. And
It's
until they fill out that form, and it wakes us up in a hurry, doesn't it?
it's very eye-opening to say, oh, do I really need to spend, $5 a day on a special drink when I can't really afford my electricity bill,
Right, right. Yeah, and I'm actually looking at one of the forms that you had filled out, and you really did track your spending so that you knew to the letter where it was going. And it sounds like that wake up, just there's a self correction in that. That's amazing.
Yes.
So then there's the next form in the planner, and I know that you had a lot of experience with that. What was that form?
Then I went through and I did the budget track, and that's where I figured out, oh, every single month there's this miscellaneous bill that will come up that I'm not budgeting in because it's not a regular occurring monthly bill. So you don't plan ahead for it in the fact of, oh, whoops, that every 6-month car insurance bill came through. Don't have the funds for it. I should put it on a credit card. Well, when that happens every single month that pops up, it steamrolls and it never goes away. You keep paying on it.
Yeah,
So
and I've actually now on a mobile, I'm showing that PowerPoint where you have your first of many filled out, where you
yes,
can see how much over or under budget you are from the income. So that helps you to begin to control, you know,
yes,
the money finder wakes us up to where the money is going. But
yes,
the budget track helps us to control that spending. You know, what we can see, what we can stop, and what we can't see stops us. So it looks like every month you filled one of these out to really get a handle on it.
I did as the months came along in 2019, and for 2020, I have printed copies for each.
Wow. Yeah, so you've got a copy for each month.
Yep. 2020. I got to be on top of it now. Planning ahead for all of that.
I love it. So what was the next form?
Then after that, I used the debt attack worksheet. I really had to get my credit cards, my loans, my car, everything under control. And I really had to focus in to get it paid down, because that interest that accumulates on it, that's what gets you.
Right.
So actually seeing the numbers get down closer and closer and closer to zero, that was really inspiring to me.
Yeah, and every year you were using this budget tracker so that every year you could actually see the progress that you were
Yes.
making.
Yes.
And
So
what I'm doing now is I'm actually I cropped this because I wanted the audience to see this is your debt attack list that you filled out, where you started putting more money on a particular payment to pay
yes.
that credit card off quicker, so that you really started nuking your debt.
Yes. And I wish that I had the original amounts because they were ridiculous, but to me, it was motivational to keep erasing them. So I was like, they're out, they're gone, they're done with my life.
Now, and so, you know, I'm looking at your stats when I'm done with the interview. I mean, every year your debt went. You took $7,700 off your debt that first year, and then it went to just about 30, and then the next year after that it was just this side of 20, and then as it went down the year after that it was just this side of 15, which was last year. So when I saw that, I said I had not ever seen that before in the tens of thousands of people that I coached. I mean, they made progress, but not like you. I think it's because you were spiking your income. You were able to build wealth and eliminate debt at a very, very fast pace. Now, in the couple of minutes I have left, I want you to talk about your saving, because your saving went from 1,500 to 10,000 to 15,000 to 15,000. How'd that happen?
I am actively putting into my 401k. I also have a really good financial planner. So shout out to Josh Erickson at Edward Jones in Wyoming, Minnesota, who said, not only do you need to do your 401k, you need to get a Roth. And we're going to do, I think I've got a traditional and a Roth IRA. I'm not sure. I've got a couple retirement accounts now at this point, because, you know, I want to retire when I can still use all my limbs and have fun and travel around with everything. So my goal at some point is to completely max out the limits on every single retirement account. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And my company is lucky enough to provide a match too, so I take advantage of that as well.
Yeah, I just saw you about just a little bit less than a month ago, and saw that the 401k that the company has set up and has incentivized people to begin saving, and there's a match in there that really is extraordinary. And then I was showing you some new calculators. What did that do, as you were seeing that you because those calculators actually could help you to see what you're going to have in a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. How did that motivate you to kind of like turn up the juice?
The more I save, the younger I am, the more money I'll have, the older I get.
Yeah.
So rather be broke in my 20s and 30s and have money for retirement than to spend it on piddly little things and never be able to retire.
Yeah, and you're on the front end of 30 something.
Yes.
I'm way, way, way older than that, but I began doing in my later 30s what you're doing in the beginning of your 30s. So I know how the profound implications this can have when people get started as early as that. So we're out of time, and I want to talk to you some more. And I asked you before the program came on, I said I was going to be asking you if you would consider doing an encore on the back end of 2020, because I have a feeling that 2020 is just you're going to have even more nitroglycerin to pour on this ever big financial wealth building bonfire that you've built.
I want to be one of those 6-figure income stylists.
Excellent. So. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to actually show them the PowerPoint. So thank you very much, my friend, and I'll be talking to you. We'll follow up to kind of debrief this. But we made history tonight because we've never, ever, ever had a conversation on wealth building, debt reduction, and wealth building. So you crushed it big time.
Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Miss Katelyn Koski, would you guys, please?
Thank you.
Thanks, Katelyn Koski. We'll see you.
Bye.
Did you hear what she said, you guys? I'm going to pair my TV up, and I'm going to hope that you're able to kind of see, for those of you that are just joining us, this is her track record. We've never shown track records this personal before. So in 16 is when she came back to Simonson's after she went overseas. She was with Simonson's and she left around 08, 09 during the recession. Thought, I got to get out of this country, and just kind of saw, deja vu in another country. Came back serious, and so as she's growing her income, it's just not about income. It starts wiping out her debt and saving money. So you can see her first year, she wiped out $7,700 in debt and saved just under $2,000. Her second year, she triples her income. And it's just not about, we've been talking about tripling income forever, but look what she does with the income that she triples. She nukes almost $30,000 in debt. There were loans and credit cards. She said by the time she got back, she was just so stressed out in debt. Just like, I think technically she probably could have filed for bankruptcy, and she said, no, I'm going to spike my income and I'm going to nuke this. And then, no, wait, there's more. She saves another $10,000. And then in 18, her income continues to grow, and it's more of the same. She continues, as her income's growing, she reduces her debt and she increases her savings. This is what I've been talking about for many, many years, you guys, and I just never had somebody. It's like, like, this is real, huh? And then last year, she continues to grow her income, and she nukes $15,000 in debt, and she saves $15,000. So now I did not ask her what she would tell you. If you're seeing that you want what she has, and what she basically said in her interview is, you can do this. It's just a matter of saying, she calls this, the income part, the big why. She's real clear about why she wants to continue to grow her income. Why? I want to nuke my debt. I want to save some money. And she even said to me, when I'm debt free, I'm half rich, because it takes me half as much to live, because half of what we are making is going back to making debt payments. So now she's taking that other half and she's starting to really snowball this. I would say by 40, 45, if she wants to, she's going to be able to, semi-retire without having to step down her standard of living. So it was an extraordinary interview. Indeed, I want you to give it up for her one more time. And we're going to be back in about a half an hour with our second interview. So I don't want you to leave. Oh, and I want you to see her actual forms. you can see that in this particular form here, this was her money finder. She wanted, she goes to home inspection. She's got something called Tom's, Amazon, Apple storage, and so that she could actually see where the money was going. She starts filling out her debt reduction form. She fills out her budget guidelines, and this is how she lives her life. So wonderful interview. So I'm going to get off now. We're going to be back here in about a half an hour. You don't want to miss Renee Doobie, because she, and I think Don Powers was watching this. Don Powers, she is a Don Powers. She's a Gen X. Let's see, where's her she is, just this side of, just on the other side of 40 something. So she's well into her third decade behind the chair. She's reinvented herself. She's going to tell you about where she was when she woke up, where she's at now, what she's doing behind the chair, what she's doing on social. So if you're a Gen Xer or a baby boomer and you're saying, gee, I'm too young to, I still have another 10, 15, 20 years ahead of me, you're going to want to do this. So I will be back for part 2 tonight with the doubleheader. I wanted to have Katelyn on as well. So you stay tuned. I'm going to go get Renee now and warm up the studio. So we'll be right back.